Hello, my name is Pekila Jennifer Brown, and today is day 3 of my 90 days journey for the 90 days wealth mindset. So for today, I'm going to be talking about 3 failures I had in business and how I reframed them from failures into success. So when I was in secondary school, the first time I tasted chicken and chips, I loved it, and I thought about how can I recreate this. So I went ahead to start trying different recipes, and I eventually made chicken and chips. But the business was not sustainable because then the environment, I didn't study the environment. A lot of persons wanted to be able to pay for meals that could satisfy them, and just very few persons purchased the chicken and chips. So after a while, the business closed up. But I did learn a lesson that before you start a business, it's not about how great your product is, it's not about how great you are. If you are in the wrong environment, it will look as if what you're doing is not making sense. The next one I want to talk about is when I finished school, when I graduated, I started selling provisions. Now then, I just moved into Abuja, Nigeria, and I was thinking that okay, the location I was great. The location was great. It was super great. This time around, the environment was not the problem. The environment was great. The people there, of course, they'll buy provisions, they'll buy basic necessities for their daily needs and all that. So I decided to start selling provisions. So when I went to the NYSC orientation camp for 3 weeks, my business suffered a setback because the staff I had on ground, she was not well trained to handle the business in my absence. So eventually when I came back, the business had almost crashed, and I had to back up from what I had. So I learned a lesson that even if you are in a great environment, make sure you train your staffs effectively to be able to sustain your business even in your absence. You know, sometimes life just happens and you are not there. So when you train your staffs, they'll be able to sustain your business for you even in your absence. Now, the third one is when I graduated from school, I, of course, did my NYSC. After NYSC, after some time, I opened the water factory, then Peck Waters. After I started my water factory, after a year, I decided to go renew my NAFDAC registration. So when I got to the office, I got to find out that my NAFDAC registration was a flop. It was fake. I was given a fake number. So retracing back, before I started, I gave the registration process and everything to someone to help me carry out the registration. I was not directly involved in the process. I got to find out that the man did not do a registration and he gave me a fake number. And the thing is, I even searched then and I saw the number on the website. So I was sent a text message from NAFDAC. I don't know how he did all that. But I got to learn a lesson from that whatever process you want to do for your business, even if it's NAFDAC registration, whatever process you want to carry to your business, make sure you're involved, make sure you're informed of the process. Every information you need is available online. Research, ask questions, find out from people that are already running the business. Now, I had the capital, I had a great environment, I had amazing staffs, but I got the process for the setup wrong. And that registration crippled my business because it was as good as if my business never existed. And I had to start the registration all over again. I had to get another environment, and also the whole thing I learned from that is make sure if you have to do anything regulatory processes, you ask questions, you do your own findings. Don't trust the process in the hands of someone, even if it's not your lawyer. You're entitled to ask questions. It's your business, it's your investment, it's your startup. So this is what I've learned from today's lesson, because I had to look at Elon Musk, how he failed in his SpaceX project and how he kept trying the first time, the second time. At a point, it was difficult for him to get engineers because he couldn't afford them. So he had to become the chief engineer to handle the project. And the third time when he was about to try again, he said that they had almost nothing, and him and his team, and he had to work for 22 hours a day. He only slept for 2 hours. It was almost detrimental to his health. He said it affected his brain, affected his heart. But at the end of the day, he succeeded. So he was deeply involved in the process. He knew the nitty-gritties, the in and out. So these are the lessons I've learned from my previous failures. And in doing business in the future, I will do better because I know these things. I've gone through the experience and I will do better. Thank you very much.